White man can't pod. Well, I'd like to prove that wrong, actually.
Actually, they all can.
All white men can pod. That's right. Check it up top because we're back with Elevator Pitch, the only podcast on Earth pitching fake movies to real basketball players
And current
basketball players of the National Basketball Association, this league. And I'm here as always with Adam Silver.
Look, I didn't know Luka was going to get traded.
Just kidding, it's Will Peters.
Oh, hey.
Will, are you an Adam Silver guy? Are there Adam Silver guys?
I don't know. I'm a huge Silverhead. I don't know. I don't know that he's as like deplorable as like Goodell. But I think I
think Goodell gets a bad rap, actually.
He gets a bad rap for his early years.
Yeah, I think Silver's the true
devil.
I think Manfred's probably like one on the hit list.
CMLB?
MLB.
Okay.
Piece of metal. That's what he called the World Series when the Astros cheated. And then you got Silver right below him.
Okay.
And then Bettman, number 3.
Hockey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Goodell.
Okay, wow.
You know who's actually number 1 on my spot? Because I heard her interview on the Bill Simmons podcast today.
WNBA.
The WNBA commissioner.
Yeah, I mean, this league.
This league.
Yeah.
The W.
Yeah, I got
What are we talking about again?
basketball, baby.
Got it.
You're wearing Tim Chalamet's own fit
I know. All right.
for your Knicks.
This is good. This is real heads who've listened past the first 10 seconds of this podcast can know we're soft launching a video space on YouTube eventually.
Yeah.
Sometime soon.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to dress the part, and for the basketball episode, I'm going with like a fit that is kind of an amalgamation of a couple of Timmy Chalamet's fits.
Sure.
Over the first, let's say over the entire 2 series that the Knicks have played now, versus the Pistons and now the Boston Celtics. This jacket I'm wearing is the literal jacket he wore to the Game 3 loss against the Celtics.
Which you owned before he did.
I owned this jacket before he did, yeah.
You've worn it before he donned
I've worn it to the Garden before he did.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But, dude, it's his blue puffer. And you know what's crazy is that there's another side. It's a black reversible. The black reversible is way sicker.
What the
So I still own that side. But, dude, he wore this jacket. And then game 4, which was the win. It's a great win.
Great win.
Also a game in which Jason Tatum ruptured his Achilles. But the game 4, he was wearing shorts with Timbs. Which
hell yeah, he did.
Which is what I'm doing right now too.
Tim.
Who are you?
You Timmy?
Timmy,
we'll get you in the elevator real soon.
Cappy.
Yeah, but I'll see you at game 6.
Are you Timothy Chalamet or just Tim?
You're just Tim. Oh, okay.
My uncle Tim?
No, the shoes.
Just the Timberlands. Okay.
Dude, you're a Timberland boot.
Yeah.
All right.
Look pretty.
A lot of personality off of you, Timberland boot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Steel-toed in the mind. Dude, his shorts were a lot lower than mine though. I feel like I'm like camping.
Yeah, you are freaking me out. Do you like my Kylie fit?
Yeah.
Wearing a hat and a hoodie and shorts.
Did you see her at the game? You see a photo of her at the game?
I did.
Yeah.
She looked lovely.
Yeah. Did you see Latrell Sprewell's Instagram account after?
No.
He took a picture with Kylie Jenner. Sprewell took a picture with her, and he said, all caps, OMG, Kylie's even more beautiful in person.
What a great use of Instagram.
Latrell Sprewell.
I feel like, interestingly, we're kind of avoiding the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
That this is a movie podcast, but you guys are showing a side of yourselves that it just comes out every once in a while in little tidbits.
Yeah.
2 huge basketball heads.
Couple of hoop heads.
I think we actually met and bonded at first over basketball.
Basketball was huge.
Because, dude, I remember.
Been to crypto.
We've been to crypto.
Yeah.
To
for
watch
a Clippers
game.
game.
Like a hungover.
And the Knicks.
Yeah, it was a Knicks-Clippers game. But even before that, I think you offered me an invitation into your fantasy basketball league. Like, this was like years ago.
Yeah. That was the last time I did it.
I
crushed.
think I auto drafted.
Yeah, I fucking destroyed the league.
Really?
Because nobody checked.
I didn't check.
I checked maybe 3 times, and that was enough. That was plenty.
You just picked up like one guy off the waiver
Jokic
wire.
first round, season's over. He gets like 1,000 points a game.
But
for
yeah,
fantasy.
I will say, Tanner, yeah, we should reel it back to basketball movies. I'm just excited right now with the Knicks.
They got to close it out, buddy.
We got to close it out.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, speaking of Twitter, the Knicks Twitter after Game 5 was
Were we talking about Twitter?
yeah, with Latrell Sprewell's tweet or his Instagram. He also posted it on Twitter.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, sure. He went wide.
He went all platform release.
Cross-platform.
on letting the world know Kylie
Cross-platform
Jenner
compliment.
is hot.
OMG, she's hot as fuck. Sending to YouTube Shorts.
I choked PJ Carlissimo 25 years ago.
Who didn't?
But
Who hasn't?
but yeah, dude, I was kind of ready for the nobody believes in us. We're not out of this yet game in Game 5.
Yeah, I was like, man, like the way that sports media hit this series after Game 4. I mean, it felt like this. Tatum goes out. The Knicks were already going to win that game.
Yeah,
and it was like all of national sports media was like, well, the Celtics are fucking dead. And it was like, nah, I mean, they're still really good.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they got Luke Cornett out there.
They got Cornette.
Do you think that he's pissed off? Do you think that
Timberland is pissed. He's so bored.
do you think that like the media works in that way just so then they can come back from
And be like, whoa. I mean,
the Knicks are supposed to win that game.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves with all sports media in general, which this is not like it's not much of a take, but it's like that sports media is based around.
Sensationalized? Is that your take?
It's like it's so sensationalized where it's like they have to have something every day to talk about. Where it's
Yeah.
like when I listen to a basketball pod, one day they're like, I mean, the series is over. Obviously, this is over, and you're like, I mean, it was one day. Like,
They're not as level-headed as us.
They're not as level-headed as us. The way we look at movies
Yeah.
is special.
How do you look at basketball movies, Will?
Upside down.
Typically, I watch them upside down.
Like a bat.
I'm always confused. I'm like, feels like this is wrong.
You should be throwing the basketball up.
You hang from like your ab cruncher machine like upside down.
Yeah.
Throw on Hustle with Yordi Hernan Gomez.
Well, with Juancho.
The wrong one.
Whenever I'm watching, not Willie, Juancho got the call for Hustle.
Yeah, Willie played on the Knicks. Juancho was playing on like the
Really?
Jazz. Yeah, Willie was on the Knicks. I remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Juancho.
Whenever I watch NBA or basketball movies, I'm always just like in my room doing box jumps. Just
Really?
like just trying to get better hops. And I get really tired by like the end of the first act. I get tired by the inciting incident.
Really?
Like page 10. I'm toast.
Sorry, what did that have to do with the movie again?
I'm doing box jumps through whenever I watch basketball movies. Basketball movies, though, to really get into them, because today we are pitching basketball movies.
Yeah, like just to remind everyone, real basketball players, but they're going to be in movies.
They're going to be in movies.
Which there's known examples of.
Yeah, this happens often. It has happened often. I guess the most recent example, though, was...
It was Hustle.
Yeah.
With Juancho and Ant.
And Ant Edwards. Ant Edwards gets a lot of the credit for the movie, I feel like, but Juancho was really good.
You thought Juancho was good?
He carries the whole thing.
I think he's a good presence. I think they casted him because he's like a very good movie presence.
Yeah.
The smart thing about Hustle that I've never seen before is build the movie around someone who his character doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
So then he doesn't have to deliver a lot of English lines.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't say if you watch He Got Game, like Ray Allen has entire scenes where he's like dueling it with Denzel Washington, and you're just like, whoa. Get to the corner,
Yeah.
Shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'm not.
But yeah, the Hustle thing, it's like he basically just has to listen to Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And Anthony Edwards.
Obviously.
And a bald Ben Foster.
Yeah, of course. Me too. Yeah. In my dreams every night. Yeah, so that's kind of the most recent example. But we've seen this throughout the years. Obviously, I don't know. Michael Jordan really kind of cements it, I feel like, with Space Jam.
Yeah.
But around that time in the 90s, this was going on.
More movies like this in the 90s.
Yeah, Blue Chips.
Yeah,
with Shaq.
Blue and Penny.
With Penny.
Shaq and Penny, they don't have too many lines in that movie, but
They probably shouldn't.
they're pretty good. I mean, Shaq's great.
I mean, anytime Shaq has to actually do things in movies.
Well, he also did, what was the other one he did? Like Alakazam or something like that?
Yeah. Shazam. And he also has the one where he's like a ninja on the cover.
Oh.
Timberland, what are the other Shaq movies?
Yeah.
Starring movies?
The first one is called Shazam.
Shazam is,
Yeah, we know that one.
But there's one where he's like a...
Blue Chips is when he was at LSU, though.
We're kind of forgetting
right after.
his most recent one, which was Uncle Drew.
Yeah,
which had
we
a
talked
bunch of
about Uncle Drew on this
basketball players.
podcast.
We have spoken its...
On the Twins episodes, on its his faith elements.
Yeah, we have spoken on its religious themes.
Uncle Drew is
Steel.
Steel is what I'm thinking
Steel?
of. Yeah, Steel is like... He's on the cover and he looks steely.
Yeah.
He's like a superhero.
Yeah.
What's your favorite out of these though, where like NBA players are actually in them? Uncut Gems doesn't count
Okay.
because I don't think Kevin Garnett really laces them up in that movie.
I guess he doesn't actually. I guess it is all archive footage.
Yeah,
Because
but I guess maybe it should count.
Well, I created a little list of my favorite real life
Do it.
players in movies.
Give it to me.
I think KG in Uncut Gems
It's the best performance out of anyone. I think.
definitely,
Yeah.
and he's. I think it's they're playing themselves, so it's like I mean, well, I guess no, take that out. They're not playing themselves. KG is playing himself
Yeah,
in
he's playing
in Uncut Gems, and he's incredible. But like Wancho and Ant aren't playing themselves in Hustle, but they're both very good, I think. LeBron and Trainwreck, pretty good.
Yeah, he is pretty good. I forgot about Trainwreck.
He's pretty good.
No one wants to admit that Trainwreck was a liked movie when it came out.
People just had it out for Amy Schumer.
Like they still have a personal vendetta against her.
They don't like her.
Yeah, they don't like her.
They don't like when women are funny.
She became very unliked very quickly.
Almost instantaneous.
But that movie, when it did come out, people forget that people liked Amy Schumer. The
Yeah.
movie did really well.
Yeah.
And I remember it being pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
There you go.
And LeBron is great because LeBron just has to come in, pop his head in, and like be kind of goofy.
Yeah.
and
He's also playing himself.
He's just playing LeBron, so it's just like, oh, that's fun. When LeBron has to be like, this is Space Jam 2, and like we're trying to bring families back to theaters. And Warner Brothers is like, can you also work in all of our properties to this movie? That's a little different.
Like the hologram Casablanca.
Yeah. Or he's also in that when they remade House Party too.
Because he produced that one.
Yeah, it's like in his house. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the house that they're in is like his house.
Oh.
And there's like a hologram LeBron in the movie. Anyway,
Well, then also Amari's in that movie too.
Stoudemire's in
Yeah.
in Space Jam 2.
No, not in Space Jam 2.
Oh, he's in
The Next Legacy.
Is in House Party?
Yeah. No, not in House Party. In Trainwreck.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I hardly remember.
He's with Bill Hader. He's like the doctor. He's like,
sure.
Doc, my knee.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's a very short performance.
Tweety Bird's in both of the Space Jams.
It is very good.
They had some trouble getting him back for the second one.
Yeah.
He's a diva.
that bird. I also wanted to bring a lot of attention to Boban in John Wick 3.
I thought I was going to surprise you with that one.
No, you can't. He's actually incredible.
He's really good.
He's
in a fight scene. Yeah.
He's presumably he has to do a lot of it. He presumably is doing all of it.
I think he had to train for a pretty good amount of time.
Who's the 7'6" stunt double? Like,
No, I think it's him.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, and again, very smart to be like, Boban, you don't need to say a lot, but here's what you got to do. And I mean, that's the only thing I remember from that movie. It's incredible.
So they fight in a library. Did you rewatch the clip?
I haven't.
I have not either, but I remember. So they fight in a library, and if you do remember, John Wick 3 is mostly like it's an on the run movie because John Wick 2 ends and he has the marker against him. So it's him basically like just bumping into assassins for like 2 straight hours.
The entire movie, yeah.
And he bumps into Boban in this library. Or it's like it's a museum because there's a glass case full of knives at some point in which they break. But it's some of the smartest casting ever because when you get to that point, like 3 movies into these John Wick movies, and you're like, man, I mean, I just guess he can kill anybody at all times ever.
Yeah.
They were like, well, what if we put a guy who is 7'8" with hands that could like wrap around Keanu Reeves' like entire face? And plus, like, it gives it the brevity that those movies always have. You're like, ah.
That's a guy I've seen before. Yeah. That's a freak I've seen before. Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Do you know how he kills him?
He snap his neck?
Yeah, but do you know how he does?
No, I don't remember.
He puts a book in his mouth.
Awesome.
And he like kicks the book in his mouth.
Awesome,
and
dude.
He like breaks his face.
That's sick.
Yeah. Or it's his neck or something with a book.
I mean, that's obviously awesome. I do want to draw attention to another movie a star-studded basketball movie.
Okay.
That is often not talked about.
Uncle Drew.
And it's not Uncle Drew.
Fuck.
Have you seen Uncle Drew, Tanner?
Of course I've seen Uncle Drew, Tanner.
Have either of you guys heard of the movie Forget Paris? Directed
No.
by Billy Crystal, starring Billy Crystal.
I looked up basketball movies. This came up, but I've never seen it.
So I have seen this movie. This movie is not very good.
Okay.
It's very disappointing actually because
But Latrell Sprewell is he's electric.
Let me read you a couple of names of basketball players that appear. John Starks, Charles Barkley, David Robinson, Paul Westphal, Patrick Ewing.
They got Westphal?
They booked Westphal.
What?
Tim Hardaway, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Reggie Miller, Chris Mullin, Charles Oakley, Isaiah Thomas. I mean, Spud Webb is in the goddamn movie. This movie is stacked because, let me read you the log line. Mickey Gordon is a basketball referee who travels to France to bury his father. I'm not even going to tell you anything more about it because all you need to know is that he's a basketball referee and they licensed the NBA. He's like on the court. He has a scene with Barkley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's and like that's a running gag in the movies. Like whenever it goes to him and he's like reffing, like the players like know him and there's always like a back and forth between him and the different players. And he like talks about his love life. And it's him and Deborah Winger. And I love Deborah Winger.
Yeah.
And the movie is just not very good.
Who's the best basketball performance in it?
It's Barkley.
Barkley? Yeah. You'd think.
And that makes sense. Barkley then goes on to be like a presence. But yeah, it's a stacked movie that I remember watching and be like, man, this is awesome. If only this movie was good. Because it's such an interesting, like to be like have a rom-com set around an NBA ref. I mean,
would you want that?
Hello.
I mean,
that's exactly what I want.
Does he play the ref like? I want to think of refs as with no personality. You know,
he plays it like one of these refs where he's like he's a dick.
Yeah.
And he's like always like no.
Yeah.
No. And they're like, oh, come on, Mickey, what the? Oh, that's bull. And he's like, you traveled.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the perfect, it's directed by Billy Crystal too. It's the perfect utilization of like
they made it Billy Crystal 2. Keep going.
Can I talk to you in the hallway?
All right. Well, what about
yeah.
I gotta check it out.
You don't really. That's the problem. Is that I wish you could. You should watch clips on YouTube of the basketball.
You know, I was thinking about before we get to the movies about basketball without basketball players.
Yeah.
You guys have 10 minutes left, by the way.
Yeah, fuck
Perfect.
you, dude.
You know what? Fuck you,
dude.
That's perfect.
You got to mention Airplane. I know we mentioned it on this pod before. Is that the
Oh, yeah.
Well, so what comes first? The fish that saved Pittsburgh, Airplane, or because there was a few.
The fish that saved Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
What is that?
Is
that a Kareem movie?
No. It's with Julius Erving. Yeah. Kareem's in this movie. You ever heard of this movie?
No.
An astrologer, Stockard Channing, of course,
Obviously.
helps a water boy match players to his basketball team star, Julius Erving, whose sign is a Pisces.
It's sick.
Yeah, it's a real movie. And I'll tell you why I mention it, because
Please.
both Airplane and The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh were then recreated or I guess the premiere of The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh was recreated in Winning Time, the TV show about the Showtime Lakers.
Oh, okay.
Which features no real basketball players, but is like probably some of the best basketball recreations that we've had.
Yeah.
Did you watch that show?
Oh, only in clips.
So
I never
the
dug
show, the show's pilot was like a little infuriating. It was like Adam McKay breaking the 4th, 5th, and 6th wall.
Yeah.
And then it got pretty good once he was a little more hands off on it. But for example, like that show, like the son of a few of the players. I mean, some of the few players were like playing in the cast.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Norm Nixon, his son, was like playing Norm Nixon.
Really?
Yeah. But
Why didn't they call me?
what?
Why didn't they call me?
Unathletic.
I don't know. Did your dad play in the NBA?
Yeah.
He did a cup of coffee with the Pacers.
He was on the Kentucky Colonels. He did 10 years with
Speaking of Kentucky
Colonels.
Colonel, semi-pro, you like that? You like semi-pro?
I do love semi-pro.
I love semi-pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember that was like, I mean, that's like peak of, that's downturn Farrell, but it's like Farrell can get anything greenlit.
Dude, I think it's before Step Brothers, actually, surprisingly.
Let's see. It's 2008. I think it's a year after Step Brothers.
Never mind. But yeah,
I think it's
I
great.
think it gets a bad rap.
They're the same year, actually.
Oh,
2008. It gets a really bad rap. That movie's hilarious.
Not from people our age or from people
No.
older than us.
People were like, okay, semi-pro. That's all they had to say. I was like, what more do you want?
What was when Sudeikis was like,
Eating the nachos.
yeah, he's eating the nachos. He's like, we don't sell nachos. I brought them from home.
I mean, it's the Woody Harrelson is great in that movie. Will Arnett is unbelievable. Andre 3000, he creates the alley-oop.
He does. Foul. No, 2 fouls. 3 fouls. You can't just go flying through the air like that. What do they trade Woody Harrelson for a washing machine, right?
Yeah.
They're like, well, we really need our washing machine. I think that movie's such a good idea too. Like
It's
that,
so
that's
good,
such
yeah.
like that's so.
It's
primed.
a great sports movie idea.
Yeah, like they're so primed for this podcast too to like read a weird like Wikipedia page about the ABA NBA merger and be like, I bet there was a team that didn't make it that was owned by its
the Flint,
center.
Michigan Tropics. Yeah. Did you know
man.
a kid that owned a Flint Tropics jersey, a Jackie Moon jersey?
Did I know a kid?
Did you ever like?
I've been to a couple music festivals where you see them around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you buy that thing, did you own one?
No, I didn't. There was like a long period where I was like, man, I could probably really rock one of those.
Dude, I think if
glad I
you're
don't.
one of the guys who like buys that on Amazon for like a Halloween costume, you end up just wearing that for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Every Halloween.
and you just absolutely crush. Anyway.
All right, but that does bring us into
Real basketball with fake players.
Love and Basketball. I told you to watch that a few months ago. You ever check that out?
I've seen 30 minutes
Seen 30 minutes of it?
on a plane.
The movie's incredible.
Great. I wanted to see the rest of it. Plane landed.
All right, we won't talk about it. Love and Basketball is my favorite, I think.
It's
My favorite basketball movie.
It was shaping up nicely. Let me tell you. And it's free on Pluto TV.
So good, dude.
Yeah.
Omar Epps isn't a great basketball player. Sana Latham, pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Dennis Haysbert is his father. Has a great speech about trying not to cheat on your wife, which is it's a real conundrum for professional athletes, I think.
I mean, been there, done that.
Yeah.
I played professional basketball.
Yeah,
not
that's
cheated
cool.
on my wife.
What about the idea of basketball movies that are like about basketball but don't involve like air?
Where it's like, it's like about the business or
Yeah.
like an element of basketball. Do you have another example of that?
Like Moneyball, kind of.
Yeah, I guess like sports movies like around like the
That's
organization.
like that's like the
Is High Flying Bird that?
yeah. I was gonna mention High Flying Bird too,
Yeah.
the Soderbergh movie. Like I think that it's a question of like when we're pitching now is like I guess this would because that I mean High Flying Bird does have like real NBA players in there doing those like interviews.
Jerry Maguire is kind of that. In a way,
Yeah,
like that,
with
like
football.
that. Yeah,
I think
Periphery.
that like I think this is a point that other people made, but the Moneyball type of movies is like the next iteration of sports movies from the Rocky type, where it's like the underdog story or whatever, and then it becomes the Moneyball, where it's like no, it's actually a character drama about the business around it. But now it's like, are we in like a new era that I think that Hustle and then both High Flying Bird a little bit kind of get at, which is like the globalization of basketball via the idea that we're all watching it on our cell phones.
yeah.
It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's and now it's like Maverick Carter, LeBron's business manager, is rumored to be like maybe trying to start like a league with like the Saudis. Did you read about this?
No, I didn't.
There's a lot of interesting like business stuff that has to do with people talking about like new media with like these NBA players either being like LeBron James and like running film production companies and being like, let's do House Party in my house, or running like their, play like Podcast P. And you're like, well, like how different is Podcast P running like a little media studio in his apartment or wherever they do that from a full-on movie studio,
I mean, yeah, it's like all the top basketball players have like, they're signed with agencies and like are like producing or, they're trying to produce projects.
Yeah, because CAA has sports and then they also, you're like, oh, you can just do everything.
Steph Curry just had that Peacock basketball show that nobody watched with Adam
Yeah,
Pally.
it wasn't terrible, actually.
Really?
It wasn't great.
I thought it looked fine.
Yeah. Adam Pally was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I like Adam Pally. It was
Steph Curry's not the greatest actor.
He doesn't see like I remember from the trailer I was like, I wonder how much they hide him. Like
they don't.
Yeah, it feels like he can't. Like
it seemed like he was really excited to do it. Like he was like, I'm doing the show.
That really was like there was like that trailer came out and it was like, this is gonna be something.
Yeah.
And
nothing.
Crickets.
Peacock, dude.
Yeah.
You can't put anything on Peacock.
No. Except Homicide, Life on the Streets, baby.
Is anyone talking about that?
Caleb in the Edit Bay.
Oh.
Is he
Past and
actually?
future guest. Yeah, he loves the show. And I watched a couple episodes. It's really good.
Yeah. I'm not saying Homicide, Life on the Streets ain't good, but
Who's watching?
I'm not saying it also has like the suitsification of like just put on a streaming service,
I mean, also
Ironically,
if I was
Suits is on
to
USA.
armchair critic it, worst, most generic name I've ever heard.
Homicide, Life on the Streets.
Yes.
But you have to remember when they put that show out, it wasn't like there was a show about Homicide, Life on the
Is
Streets.
it old?
It's from the 90s.
really old, yeah.
Back then there was, Homicide had not happened yet. Nobody had ever died.
Nobody had ever heard of it, dude.
First kill on TV.
Nobody had ever heard of the Streets.
So the pilot was like, all the cops are like, wait, what happened?
Someone killed someone?
We found this dead woman. Like,
Well, she probably died of natural causes.
right? Like how old was she? Like 33?
What?
What? How? What?
There's a knife in her back. She fall on it?
How'd she fall on a knife on her back?
She have cancer? With the knife in the back?
No. She's trying to, I don't know.
Who did it? That's your
your
job. Where do we go? We'll go to the streets. We'll try the streets.
Oh, man.
Roll credits. They don't solve anything in the pilot.
They just figure out the concept of homicide.
Wait till they get to the special victims unit.
We're gonna need six seasons to figure this out.
All right. Well, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I leave a comment if you liked us just kind of like listing movies? I don't know.
I mean, yeah. What's before we, I guess, get into the pitch first? What's your favorite non-player?
I think it's Love and Basketball, to be honest.
Okay,
with you.
that's
Semi-Pro's the favorite comedy. Love and Basketball is an excellent movie. Really good romance.
Yeah.
When they play one-on-one in the end of it, really gets me. But I mean, I think like Above the Rim is a really cool movie.
The Tupac?
Yeah. You know what we haven't talked about yet? Like Mike. Just a fucking OG.
Or Thunderstruck.
Oh, I've never seen Thunderstruck. That was like past my time. I was like too old in Thunderstruck.
I've seen Thunderstruck.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I speak on
Please.
Like Mike though a little bit? I
course.
rewatched it like 6 months ago actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my buddy, it was like a Sunday and he was like, oh, let's come over, like, like hang out, whatever. And we got there.
Together.
Yeah, and we were just like, should we throw on Like Mike?
Probably.
Actually, no, he called me and he's like, dude, I'm putting on Like Mike. Trying to come over? And I was like, yeah, sure.
I'm doing a Like Mike party tonight.
3 astounding things about Like Mike.
Yeah.
The foster home dad who is basically peddling the kids out to sell candy bars outside of the Crypto.com arena is like one of the most thought about characters in a movie that doesn't have a lot of thought going on to it. Jesse Plemons is the bully in the movie. Do you know that?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Jesse Plemons. At a moment in time, Jesse Plemons and Lil Bow Wow shared the screen with each other.
I mean, we used to make movies. I'm telling you.
But it was also like one of the worst examples of like they cut in players to be like, whoa, did you see that? And then like they filmed the other part later. But it's a super entertaining movie. And it's the most nostalgic I've ever been watching a movie in the last few years.
Yeah, I've never seen Like Mike.
You've never seen it?
Yeah, I never have. And
you know the idea of Like Mike, though.
Of course, yeah. Of course. We all want to be like Mike.
Yeah. It's a big like NBA licensed movie where they're gonna use the logo.
They're gonna go real.
Yeah. Name, image, and likeliness as much as they can.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen it. I saw Thunderstruck in college. That was like
What was going on that day?
one of the best days of my life, I think. It was me and past and future guest Grant Oliphant. Grant Elephant.
That's an elephant.
Grant. I had like I was in a phase in college where I was doing random movie roulette.
Okay.
Where like there's a list on Letterboxd that's like 20,000 movies, and you just use a random number generator to give you a movie.
You got Thunderstruck?
It was Thunderstruck one night, and Grant was like, "Holy shit!"
KD, good actor?
No, he's not.
Who's the best basketball player actor other than Kevin Garnett? Like, who's playing another character? That's more what I mean. I think it's Edwards.
He was pretty good.
He's pretty good in Hustle.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I rewatched that scene where he's talking shit to Wancho, and he's like, "Is that your daughter over there? Where's her mom?" Like, "Oh, mom's not in the picture." And he's like, "I could be a good stepdad." And then Wancho Hernangomez like shoves him to the ground, and then straight out of like Fast and Furious 5 does the thing where he like punches him on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like cut to a wide, and you're like, did he kill him?
Yeah.
And it cuts in. He's like, no, the hand's right next to his head.
You're like, whew.
And Anthony Edwards has like this like thing. I got to take the sunglasses off. He's got this thing where he's like, all right, he's told to like close his eyes and then open them naturally.
Yeah.
But that was his one like weak point where he just kind of opens his eyes like on cue. He's like, yeah,
Yeah, right.
he's really good though. But it's ironic that he's talking about, he's like, I could be your stepfather. Like, I could be her, like, baby daddy. It's like, now he's got, like, 4 ongoing paternity suits against him.
Life imitates art. Life. Yeah, the two I'll mention before we get to pitch time is, obviously, we've talked about it a few weeks ago with Hackman. Hoosiers, I think, is
we talked about Hoosiers.
It's obviously pretty all-time. But
really good ball in Hoosiers.
There's good ball.
Yeah.
There's good ball. Jimmy Cheekwood?
Jimmy Chitwood, yeah.
Jimmy Chitwood.
You said Cheatwood?
I said Cheekwood.
Cheatwood. That's a different type of wood.
Yeah, don't talk about that
doesn't
wood.
grow native in Indiana.
Jimmy's great, but I do want to talk about a movie that my dad loves. I'm going to bring some light to my father, called Inside Moves, which is a movie from the 80s, directed by Richard Donner, who directed The Goonies, Superman,
Legend,
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
He's been around the block. And Inside Moves is a really good movie, actually. It's about it's very much like a human drama about this guy down on his luck, tries to kill himself, survives his suicide attempt, and like in his rehabilitation, like he just like where he ends up living is like by this bar, and the barkeep is this guy played by David Morse, who's been in like everything.
Yeah. Know the face.
Young David Morse, and the barkeep is David Morse, who is like a really good pickup basketball player and has a dream to like be in the NBA, and he like tries out for the Golden State Warriors, and like it's just about like this guy being like, you should keep playing ball, you're really good, and him being like, yeah, all right, and it's just like it's a really sweet movie. It's very good. Very few people have seen this movie, according.
Dude, it's mentioned on a rival movie podcast a lot.
I heard it once on the Big Pick.
Or like rewatch. I think it was like one of them.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard them talk about it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And my dad loves that movie. So I've seen it like a few times.
Yeah.
But they get the Warriors in there. Like we actually see like 70.
Chris Mullin era Warriors?
It was 1980, so it would be like
a little earlier probably. I
don't even know who would be on that team.
Yeah.
Not Clay.
We got to call Perry Krinsky for that one.
Yeah. So good movie. Was
your dad also a fan of High School Musical 1, 2, and 3?
More of a 2-man.
Okay.
Yeah. He has never seen them, and I have seen them, but it was late in life.
I wanted to mention High School Musical for a second, just because it's a really good example of how to dance with a basketball,
obviously,
but more so how to cut around people playing basketball who don't know how to play basketball.
Yeah,
because it's always interesting when they
real art in sports movies.
Yeah, I mean, like the Fresh Prince episode where they're like doing the basketball scene. Where it's like almost like a comedy of editing, where it's like him shooting from ridiculous points on the court and just always going in. Like they really have to cut around Zac Efron a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
But I would count it a basketball movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a focal point.
Yeah.
He's going to college for ball.
I know.
The final thing I'll shout out.
Yeah.
Me and Grant Elephant are in a short film directed by Ben Elephant called Pop. That is fully a basketball short film. Yeah.
Are you hooping in that?
I'm hooping in that. And I look bad at basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your specialty on the court?
I'm cleaning the glass.
You're cleaning the glass?
I'm a boards man. Yeah, I'm down low, and I'm saying, do not give me the ball. You shoot, I'll get it back, and I'll kick it right back out to you.
You're a young Luke Cornett.
I'm a cornet.
Just
type.
denying motherfuckers out there.
I'm definitely in the cornet verse.
Yeah.
If I was just 11 inches taller.
My dad texts me. He's like, I'm tired of all this cornet talk on the broadcast. I'm like, Dad, he just caught a reverse alley-oop.
He doesn't get any talk ever.
Yeah.
You got to give him a game. Yeah. So go watch Pop on YouTube.
I'll check it out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
Ben
say the
did great.
link like letter by letter now. I think we have time for that.
Why?
Yeah, and the last thing I'll shout out is Winning Time, Reggie versus the Knicks. Love that documentary.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shout out Last Dance. I bet people have seen it already.
Check out The Last Dance.
Yeah.
No.
Winning Time, though.
I've never
Really
seen
good.
it. Yeah.
And then Guru of Go, shout out to LMU about Paul Westhead, about his offense that he won the chip with the Lakers about, and then went to LMU with Hank Gathers before Hank Gathers died on the court. But
Damn.
yeah.
He died on the court?
Yeah.
Like
Hank
in a game?
Yeah. In a game, yeah.
I'll add him to my list of sports people. I've been making a list of sports people that died during the game. And
How many people you got?
Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. I'm really a NASCAR guy at heart.
Well, you can add Senna, the F1 driver.
Okay.
There's a ton of F1, and yeah, I mean that's
Racing
that's a
is probably
gimme.
big. Yeah.
Racing's easy. It's a deadly
Big wave
sport.
surfing,
A lot of guys have been lost in the.
professional knife throwing.
The guy in The Last Boy Scout. I think that was
Count, yeah. I think you could count. I think you can count maybe Alexander Hamilton if you want to say dueling is a sport.
It's one we don't practice enough.
Yeah.
For sure.
Are you guys
sure.
ready to pitch?
Already.
Not really, but yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I just needed you guys to be ready because this question is very time sensitive.
You seem incredibly bored by this episode.
Oh yeah, it's basketball.
Boring snooze fest. You be like
me.
fucking.
I do the impressions here. All right.
Okay.
It's quarter 4. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game.
Okay.
People
According
usually
to
say quarter 4.
Oh, you are not.
Got your ass.
You are not setting yourself up well tonight, Matt Laniato. It's quarter 4.
Yeah. Q4.
3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game. Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Denver Nuggets. It's happening right now.
Oh yeah, what's going on in the game?
That's the question, I guess.
I'll give you this. The Denver Nuggets are up.
Oh,
Whoa. What is the Denver Nuggets score right now?
let's just guess the full score.
I literally almost just looked it up. So wow.
Wait,
I
how
wish I
much
had.
time's left in the fourth?
3 minutes on the dot, according to
Pause this episode and
Google.com.
watch the end of that game.
Probably. No. You want us to guess the Nuggets score?
The Nuggets score, unless you care more about Oklahoma City.
We
no,
should
I'm
probably
cool with
just guess the score of the game.
I'll give
but-
you Nuggets points.
If you guess the score of the game, what is the?
I'll give you Nuggets points.
Yeah, give me Nuggets points.
87.
87 for the Nuggets.
No, not. Okay, I'm locked in.
You're locked in,
Yeah,
dude.
I can't take.
How do you think
I'm
this
going
game
98.
98.
I should have gone higher.
All right.
I think it's
Oklahoma
I think
City
it's 92.
Thunder 95. Denver Nuggets 109.
Whoa!
I know.
What?
They broke Trip Didge.
Stunner!
So
We're going to game 7.
Game 7! Fuck!
Do you hear Murray had some sort of illness?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
questionable. He
Flu
played.
game.
He played.
Blue game.
He's playing. That's awesome.
Wow.
Love
All
that.
right. Well, I guess I'm going first then.
Matt's going first, and the pitch stitch is that the basketball has to be purple.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. I like
Good
that.
for you.
Thank you.
The pitch stitches, you have to say quarter 4.
Yeah, you got to say quarter 4, and the basketball's got to be purple.
It's quarter 4. All right.
And the basketball's purple. Just so you remember.
to finish it.
And somebody has died.
And the basketball is purple.
Today's episode is brought to you by KR Drywall. I know what you're thinking. Drywall, movies, what in the world do these two things have in common? Well, Will, when at least I sit and ponder upon pitches, it's always important to start with the right materials. Because an idea is one thing, but making sure the right cast of characters and craftsmen behind it is another. Well, guess what?
What?
It's the same when you're building or renovating a home. And that's where the great people at KR Drywall can help you out. So if you're in the LA area and looking for licensed drywall work on your residential or commercial property, give Kevin a call at 818-626-6590. That's 818-626-6590. KR Drywall, the official sponsor of Elevator Pitch.
When DV Wet Wall won't give you what you need because they're just so fucking greedy. Hit him up down at KR Drywall.
Yeah, fuck you, DB Wetwall. All right,
Fuck DV Wet Wall.
now let's get to the pitches.
Yeah, we are back. All right, Matt.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, so many good ideas for basketball movies. I wanted to take a page out of former guest Nick Conchola when he did All-Star Weekend.
It's a great basketball pitch.
Great basketball pitch.
A winning pitch.
2007 All-Star game in Houston, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then I have also pitched Men's League on this podcast before, which is already a basketball pitch too. But I wanted to be like, let's do the coach bus altercation between Kevin Garnett and Carmelo Anthony after Kevin Garnett said that his wife, I'm not even going to say that on the podcast. Shout out to Lala Anthony. But there was a bunch of like little instances, like they're already making a movie about Dennis Rodman's 48 Hours in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That Phil Jackson sent him on.
Yeah.
So there are kind of like real instances that I wanted to pull from, but I couldn't really find the right one. So I'm gonna go really down the line.
Okay.
A movie that I think will just absolutely fucking work, but it's not like the craziest idea ever.
Okay.
This movie is called Points, Rebounds, and Assists.
Okay.
I think Anthony Edwards needs to make another movie.
Okay.
And I know it's boring to say that, but he is the only NBA player with actual personality these days. And I want him to fucking lead a movie, all right?
Okay, yeah.
So here it is, right? Points, Rebounds, and Assists is a gambling thriller in which Anthony Edwards is faced with a situation where his wife is kidnapped. And if he does not comply with the specific demands during a game of the National Basketball League, not association, leagues,
Obviously.
championship,
This league.
game 3, this person will kill his wife.
Oh my.
What does this person have? A points, rebounds, and assists bet. Gambling's all over the place in the NBA. It's legal, everyone. Jonte Porter, he's out of the league. Scary Terry Rozier, almost out of the league.
Draymond Green just fined this week.
Woo?
Draymond Green.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he called out the point spread on during a game.
There you go.
He dropped it.
There you go. Well, I don't understand we haven't had like a Die Hard movie about gambling in sports yet, where they're like, we're going to kill your wife unless you do this, or unless you perform or throw a game or whatever.
Maybe a little too close to home.
Maybe a little too close to home. Seems pretty obvious, all right?
Yeah.
So Anthony Edwards is Winston Vaughn, all right? Surprise, surprise, he's a really good fucking basketball player.
Cool.
And he's basically playing a alternate version of Anthony Edwards we're not going to put him in Minnesota, though.
Sure.
We're going to put him in Louisville, Kentucky, all right?
Yeah, the Kentucky Colonels.
Yeah, the Kentucky Colonels. Thank
Yeah.
you. I just literally switched the name because you just said that. They're going to put him in Louisville, Kentucky for the Kentucky Colonels, Game 3 of the National Basketball League Finals, when Bryce Laurie, former college teammate, co-captain at State, obviously, he sees him at the game. And he's like, oh, what's up, Bryce? All right. First quarter comes around. He gets a note passed to him. It's from Bryce Laurie. All right.
Oh my God.
He's like, I have your wife, and I have a points, rebounds, and assist bet. If you don't hit 36 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists.
One of the greatest games ever played.
Yeah, which I like to flip it,
Yeah.
where we're like, it's not actually about throwing the game. It's about
Playing well.
Playing well. And then I'm going to twist it in the middle of the movie where he's like, he's going to be like, actually, like right when he's like on his way doing that, the twist in the movie is that it's like, no, I actually hedged it. And now you have to start throwing the game. You know what I mean? So it's like an emotional roller coaster. All right?
Fuck.
But Bryce Laurie, his former teammate, Jacob Elordi. I needed a tall young guy. All right. He can do the American accent.
Yeah, of course.
And his basic emotional reasoning behind kidnapping Winston Vaughn's wife, Christy Vaughn, played by Keke Palmer,
Obviously.
is that is that he's like basically saying like, yo, like you got all the glory and I carried you on my shoulders in college when we won the chip.
Yeah.
And basically, like, you owe me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my life has turned out horribly. I work at a Sunoco.
Obviously.
And I need I need you to do this right now because this is what I do. He's a crazy man. You
This
know?
is right.
Yeah, it's right. So we got Anthony Edwards as Winston Vaughn. John Bernthal is the head coach of the team.
Yeah,
because
that's
he
awesome.
loves ball.
Yeah.
We're shaving his head. Coach Rick Steinbeck. And he's like a real hard nosed, like young, inventive offensive coach. I gotta keep going. I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards, other actor Anthony Edwards, is referee number 2, who's gonna play a pivotal role in the movie. Because he actually turns out that he's helping John Hemmington, played by Michael Kelly, who's the owner of the team. And the big plot reveal in the movie is that it's not Bryce Laurie who's at the top of this chain. It's the owner of the team who facilitated the entire thing.
Bruh.
Because he's broke and needs to put a deposit with the city for a new arena.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And Kendrick Perkins is playing Kendrick Perkins. We're just going to fit him in somewhere.
He'll be there.
Tom Thibodeau. And finally, what was I going to say? Fuck. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh my God.
Well,
I should have written.
purple basketball?
Oh yeah, there's a purple basketball in here.
Was it blue or purple?
Oh, you don't remember?
You wanted purple.
Okay, purple's good.
Trust me, you wanted purple.
Purple works.
So
Not orange.
at the end of the movie, one of Anthony Edwards' tactics is like, if I, destroy all the game balls, they'll have to void the bet or something like that.
Yeah.
So he like figures out how to puncture all the game balls, and he like locks the door to the safe where they keep the other ones in. And they're like, we don't have a ball to play with. And then
one magic fan.
He's like, I have this purple basketball. He comes in spinning. That's Kendrick Perkins. He's got the purple basketball.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's points, rebounds, and assists.
Cool.
What makes you think that's not a movie that would do like?
No, he thinks it would do well.
I'm just saying this is like an iterative plot put into a new situation. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
I like
one.
it.
It's like a hostage movie. It's like, if you don't do this, then I will kill your wife.
Yeah.
And it's Anthony Edwards playing basketball.
Yeah.
I will say too. I mean, I don't know if you guys could tell when I said the purple basketball thing. I didn't think about what the pitch ditch was going to be, but you added it in a way that I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's points.
Okay,
Just so you know.
Fuck
fuck
makes
yeah.
sense.
But you went over the limit, so all of it's void.
Yes.
So
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. There's also a, who's the cop in Die Hard? What's his name again?
Cho.
like the black guy?
Yeah. From Family Ties. Family Matters.
He's like,
Reginald Van.
Steve Urkel.
you just naming cast members from Family Matters.
Reginald Van Johnson. Right?
That's his character's name?
Reginald Van Johnson's the actor. All right.
Oh, okay.
You know how he's like a cop that like has like a chip on his shoulder?
Yeah, because he shot a kid.
Yeah, we have an
killed a
arena.
kid.
We have an arena security guard played by Wendell Pierce of Jack Ryan and a few other movies.
Cool.
Who's like chip on his shoulder, like always wanted to be a detective.
Yeah.
But instead he's just been like the long time, knows everything about the arena security guard who like knows Winston Vaughn. And he's the one who has the hunch. So it's like him hunting down through the arena.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan style through an arena. Like what's going on here.
Yeah.
So he's like his ally through the game.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's there's kind of that element in Die Hard 2, actually.
Oh, really?
Or there's like, well, in the first one, yeah, the cop is helpful, but in Die Hard 2, it's like there's a guy that he's like sneaking around and he like knows all the plans for the airport.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, don't hurt me.
Yeah,
That's
we
how
need
he
this for the
sounds,
Kentucky Colonel's Arena.
obviously. Yeah, that's smart. I like it.
That's not how I sound.
Yes,
Oh,
it
well,
is.
wait, also, this is going to be like a warfare situation where I want this movie to be co-directed by like Steve Nash
Okay.
and J.C. Chandor or something like
like
that.
Charles Oakley.
Yeah, like Charles Oakley and Steve. Like I want like a basketball player co-directing it with like an Italian director like Juan Calezzera
Cool.
or a J.C. Chandor.
Yeah, Chandor would be great.
Bigelow's a little too old. I feel like she'd be cool for this.
Yeah. This is fun. I like it. I like it a lot.
Points, rebounds, assists. Sorry, I didn't write too much stuff down, which I should have, but I just have it all in my head. A little disorganized.
No. What? It was great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think
like
it's a fun movie.
Thank you.
I
I think it's smart.
that
Even.
tried and true method for getting something greenlit in Hollywood is to pitch it as Die Hard, but
Well, it
blank.
used to be.
Not anymore?
No, we're long past that.
Huh. Well,
Wake up.
Wake up, dude.
What the
That
fuck?
probably ended, like, honestly, Tanner, that probably ended before you were born even.
fuck.
Yeah.
Why did I even know that?
But he's Timberland. He's like,
I was the
You know what?
shoot-
This is more than Die Hard. It's more Red Eye with Cillian Murphy.
that's true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also great.
Yeah. It's also-
Like Red Eye a lot.
Yeah. Or the terrible TSA movie that came out.
Carry on.
Carry On.
I liked it.
Movie sucked, dude.
It's good. Directed by Dwight.
One let's hear it.
Okay.
All right. Feel free to go over the 5 minutes like I did.
No. Don't
do that.
Do that.
Okay, you ready?
Am I ready?
Yeah, are you ready?
I can't wait for this.
Not. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Please be Jerry Sloan.
I wish. My movie that I'm pitching to a current couple of NBA basketball players is called Joker's Wild. Tagline, joke's on you. And this
Live,
movie...
live, die, repeat.
Yeah. Tomorrow. What is it? Edge of Tomorrow. This movie stars NBA superstar and 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, as well as his counterpart, 2-time dunk champion snub Aaron Gordon,
Teammate.
his teammate.
They're dating?
Teammate.
They're
Oh,
teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they fuck sometimes.
They have before. So our movie, I'll give you the log line. During the off season, NBA superstar Nikola Jokic. Why can't I read my own handwriting? Oh, okay. During the off season, NBA superstar Nikola Jokic prized horse is stolen by Serbian terrorists, Serbian thugs, forcing Joker and 2-time dunk champion snub Aaron Gordon into the Serbian underworld on a path of revenge to get back his horse. This is just John Wick meets like MacGruber, basically.
Are they playing themselves, though?
They are playing themselves. It is Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon. And the third person I should remember is the horse like caretaker, which will be played by Gal Gadot. We need like another like kind of like an action-y person. I don't really like Gal Gadot
Yeah, I don't
as a
either.
performer, but she seems to sell some tickets. All right. So we put Gal Gadot in here. And because this is a comedy, like this obviously is like playing into the fact that you've got two guys that are like going on a warpath. One of them is 7 feet tall and looks like Nikola Jokic in his home country where he is a god. And the other one is Aaron Gordon, which I think a part of the joke of the movie is that Aaron Gordon and Gal Gadot can go into places and like actually do on the ground stuff.
Yeah.
Because everybody in Serbia is like, that's Nikola Jokic. And you're really tall. He's like, I'm his teammate. I'm Aaron Gordon. And they're like, I'm not hurt you. But then, of course, like one scene where it's like a big pivotal moment where Aaron Gordon's trying to sneak in somewhere. They're like, oh my God, it's Aaron Gordon. He's like, what the fuck? You haven't known me the whole movie. And so that's obviously hilarious. I think there's also, so Gordon is in Serbia with Jokic because it's the off season, but they've both been invited to play in the 2-on-2 basketball tournament that Serbia is hosting. And this is called the Serbian Purple Basketball Tournament. Okay. The winner, the games are played with a purple basketball, you know, because to represent purpleness. And the winner gets a purple basketball. And it's a huge deal. And Jokic is like, you know, I bring Aaron Gordon. And Aaron Gordon did go this past offseason to Serbia.
Did he really?
He got to see, because Nikola Jokic actually is like a big horse guy.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
He loves his horses.
He owns racehorses, right?
Yeah, he does. And Nikola Jokic is very much like on the court, he's the most exciting player ever. Off the court, he's like the most boring guy of all time, seemingly. But I thought it would be funny to put him in this scenario where it's like he has to like, he like comes alive. He goes Boban style. He beats some fuckers up. All the while, like this is all around the time of the tournament. We find out that obviously his horse was stolen to get him distracted. These Serbian thugs have money on a couple of young upstarts that are there to take down Jokic and his American friend. It's fucking Aaron Gordon. The movie will end. They obviously get the horse back. They've killed so many Serbian thugs, like full on murder. But they win the tournament because they're incredible at basketball. And then it cuts to NBA Media Day. Months later, the start of the new season, and it's all the reporters like, Jokic, good to see you, Joker, so another boring off season for you? And he's like, yes, another boring off season. And he looks over Aaron Gordon, and they share a wink. And then it's like,
Yeah.
Joker's wild, baby. And then Gal Gadot was there too. This is directed by Joe Carnahan, who did Narc, Smoking Aces. He has a movie in theaters right now with Kerry Washington that's bombing. He's got a movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon that comes out this year. With Artists
Was
Equity.
it Unstoppable or something like that?
Something fun. It sounds really cool. Narc is a great movie. So Joe Carnahan wants some action. We want some fun.
Yeah.
This movie is just like comedically riffing on John Wick in a big way. Obviously, instead of a dog, it's a big fucking horse.
Yeah.
Can't really hide a horse, can you? And you can't hide a Jokic, I always say.
You know who I was also going to suggest directing it?
I'm done. Yeah.
I think he's a big basketball fan. Jorma Taccone. Lonely Island, who's directing the Naked Gun movie this year.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Think
sense.
about that. Wow, that was great.
Yeah, I really like that.
That was,
Joker's wild.
I would be first in line to see Joker's
You
Wild.
know that's going to Netflix.
Yeah, that would be cool. Though.
That's not going. That's not spending a day in theaters.
Is it called Joker's Wild because his name is Jokif?
His nickname is.
His nickname is Joker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joker's wild. Tagline. Jokes on you. You should.
Tagline to the tagline.
Yeah.
And Gal Gadot is there.
Gal Gadot's also here.
and she's singing Imagine. But I think that you need to include his brothers in this too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I actually did write this down.
yeah.
That is a point where it's like
The
during
Jokic
battle.
brothers, yeah.
Yeah. Because you should know this.
His
Tanner.
brothers are like true Serbian thugs.
His brothers are also 7 feet tall, but they don't play basketball. They're just massive men, and they've been arrested. They've been charged with assault because Nuggets fans or like NBA arena fans, or people in NBA arenas.
Wait, this actually happened?
This actually happened. Yeah, like shouted at Jokic's brother. His brother, whose name is Stralinia, just absolutely clocked him. Like, just punched the shit out of this guy. Obviously, they're like, okay, well, that's assault. You can't be 7 feet tall and punch a guy. So obviously they call him into battle at one point. They're like, there's one guy I know that can help us.
Yeah.
But he's
Very big.
he's angry. And it's Stralinia, and he's like, he's lifting 1,000-pound basketballs.
What color?
They're purple.
Those are also purple. Yeah. So yeah, his violent brothers are in this.
That's
as
incredible. Can I ask you, before you decide a winner,
Please.
your almost pitches? Like, just give me like ideas that you had, because this was really fun for me to think of like a lot of these different ideas.
So I honestly really didn't have like a ton of other ideas. I was narrowed in on
Joker's Wild or bust.
The biggest thing with me, I was like, okay, because I thought for sure you were going Ant, because it makes
It's the obvious choice. Yeah.
I was like, I got to go for a player, and I don't know how. Like, I think Aaron Gordon actually would be fun. He'd be silly.
Yeah.
Jokic is
Jokic is a silly guy too.
they're both silly fellas. And this is a comedy. Like, it has a lot of comedy to it. So like it should play to their comedic strengths, or maybe, hopefully.
Kind of feels like Jokic could be like a great like Schwarzenegger. Like, he kind of can do the one thing, but something's appealing about the one thing.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
He can pass the rock.
Key. Yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to think of like players first, where I was like, man, I'd go from player then on, and I really struggle.
It's
like,
tough because a lot of them don't have a personality as much as you want them to off court.
Yeah.
Or they don't show it. That was actually one of the ideas I had, was like a psychological thriller where it's like about like media training.
who this guy really is.
But like it's more about like
Yeah.
and like it about like a movie where it's like the guy hires the best press media trainer.
Yeah.
And he ends up being like a hypnotist who mind controls someone into like doing things for them and manipulates them.
That's awesome.
And they're like, like if someone asks you this, you have to answer this. And it takes it to an extreme level where he's always like, yeah, whatever it takes,
I'll do whatever.
I was just trying to get my team the ball.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
The one other one I did think of was a movie with Josh Hart, and I honestly wanted to call it the Glue Guy movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like about like a movie about the unsung like NBA players, and just like how they're always they're doing the dirty work, but not getting the credit like a Brunson, and then Brunson deserves the credit, but like Josh Hart does so much for like a team. And then like I honestly think that kind of spiraled me into the Jokic thing where it was like, I was like, well, that's fun if like he does all the dirty stuff, doesn't get the credit for it on the court, and then he also is like maybe a spy off the court, and then I was like, spy, assault.
I feel like someone like Max Strus could be like a henchman in a movie.
Yeah. I want to throw DeAndre Jordan in here too, if possible. He's friends with Jokic.
The only other one I was thinking of, by the way, is a movie where like a player invests in like an owner's company and figures out how to like perform a hostile takeover of the company.
Okay, fine.
And then ends up owning the team that he plays on.
Yeah. Coaching it like Bill Russell did.
Yeah, he's like Jackie Moon out there.
Yeah.
It's like player coaching. Yeah. But it's a movie about like a selfish player, and he like learns that through trying to do it all, he can't. He needs to rely on those around him.
He needs a team.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, Mr. Timberland.
Then we start in Boban, obviously.
Yeah.
You guys are just being so interesting that I kind of forgot to think of a winner.
We tend to do that.
Yeah.
Our 15 listeners tell us that too.
What do you guys think was the final score for the Denver Nuggets? Whoever gets closer wins.
Fuck.
Oh, wow.
The final point total for the Nuggets.
Yeah. Well, Will, you've got like a three pitch winning streak on the line here.
Yeah, I'm leaving it up to chance. Because you guys, what was the final score for the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Okay.
Because you guys already got the other one. Don't look mad. I see you peeking.
Where? On your screen?
Yeah.
I can't see that.
Whatever.
I'm going to say, because what was it when he said last? Like one?
Well, last time I gave you the Denver Nuggets. I didn't even
I know,
Yeah,
but
you said the final. You said
it was like
score,
110 to like 90 something. Was it 90 flat? I feel like it was like 105 to 90. Or 109 to 90.
I think 101. That's my guess.
101?
Yeah.
And then
103.
another win for Will. Wow, dude. That's crazy.
What was the score?
I guess we'll see you guys on the next episode of Elevator Pitch.
They came back.
107.
What was the final score of the game?
107 to 119. 119.
119. Quarter 4, 119.
I like it. Okay. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you,
The
Jokic.
numbers. Thank you, Jokic. I want to look up Jokic's stat line.
I know. On Mike, you want to look that up?
Yeah, let me just take a peek. See if he really deserves a 3-picture deal with Netflix, with Pure Flix. Let's see.
Pure Flix.
He's doing only Christian films now.
Steph Curry did try to make a Wedding Crashers in Church movie. You know about that?
No.
You know, when I was working at Sony, Blake Griffin has a production company.
Yeah.
He produced the remake of White Man Can't Jump with Jack Harlow, a movie
right.
that we intentionally didn't mention.
Yes.
And he was on the lot like every day,
I remember seeing
like
him.
taking
Yeah.
meetings and everything.
I remember seeing it. My
Yeah.
tour group was not impressed.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't
They
know
were
who
just
he
like,
was. Jokic had 29 points.
Okay. That's a bad game for him.
29 points, 14 boards,
You know what's even
8
worse than that?
assists.
I got mustard all over me. I literally have mustard
Mustard!
all over me.
I don't
And
see it.
nobody ever noticed. You have a little on your sleeve, it looks like.
I know. It's
Well, should
fucking
we-
everywhere.
Should we go?
Should we go?
Yeah, okay. We're going to go.
Hold on. I could do about 20 more on
We're
the
going to
mustard
clean
thing.
Tanner up. He's been dirty.
But this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This was a last minute episode, guys. If you can't tell.
I bet they can't.
I know we said we were gonna do friendship last week. We pushed it to the next week because frankly, our guest and myself could not get to a theater to see it.
It wasn't as widely available yet as we
It
thought.
was not wide on the west side of LA. It was barely playing.
Yeah.
But I think, like you're saying, it's going wide next week, so all y'all can see it.
Yeah.
All of our listeners in the flyover states can see it.
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
The heart of our listenership.
Yeah. Our Lawrence, Kansas listeners.
Yeah.
will be so pleased.
And then we are out.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night. We love you.
We love you.
Who just said my name?
People are in here. Bye.